addition and subtraction on rational numbers.
Good morning, students. I am Teacher Danica, your teacher of the day. In today's lesson, I will be discussing on the addition and subtraction operations of rational numbers. At the end of this video lecture, you, the students, are expected to identify addition and subtraction operations on rational numbers in given word problems, solve problems involving rational numbers using variety of strategies, and appreciate the importance of addition and subtraction on solving rational numbers through challenging situations. To start, let us recall what is a rational number and its mathematical operations. A rational number is a number that can be written in the form a over b, where a and b are integers and b is not equal to 0. However, there are 4 basic arithmetic operations with rational numbers, and these are addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. But in this lesson, again, I will be only discussing on the addition and subtraction operations. Now, let's learn about these 2 operations. Addition and subtraction on rational numbers. Adding and subtracting rational numbers can be done in the same way as adding and subtracting fractions. And there are 2 cases related to addition and subtraction of rational numbers, and these are: Case 1. Adding or subtracting rational numbers with like denominators. Case 2. Adding or subtracting rational numbers with different denominators. So in order for you to understand these cases, let's discuss it in details. To add or subtract rational numbers with like denominators, the following steps should be followed. Step 1. Add or subtract the numerators and affix the common denominators. Step 2. Simplify or reduce the answer on its lowest term if possible. So take a look on these examples. Example A. Add the given rational numbers 7 over 9 plus 3 over 9. In order to add these numbers, let's perform the first step. Add the numerators and affix the common denominators. Here, we need to add 7 and 3, then copy the common denominator 9 so that we can have the sum of 10 over 9. Afterwards, let's perform the second step, which is to simplify or reduce the answer to its lowest term. So if we reduce 10 over 9 to its lowest term, we can have 1 and 1/9 as its answer. Therefore, 7 over 9 plus 3 over 9 is equal to 1 and 1/9. It's so easy, right? Now, let's proceed on the other example. Example B. Subtract the given rational numbers 6 over 13 and 4 over 13. To subtract these numbers, again, let's perform the first step. Subtract the numerators and affix the common denominators. So here, we need to subtract the numerators 6 and 4 so that we can have 2 as its difference. Then, copy the common denominator 13. However, in this situation, there is no need for us to perform the second step, which is to simplify or reduce the answer on its lowest term, since our answer is already on its lowest term. Therefore, 6 over 13 subtracted by 4 over 13 is equal to 2 over 13. It is very easy, right? Now, you are all ready to learn the second case, which is to add or subtract rational numbers with different denominators. To add or subtract rational numbers with different denominators, there are 3 steps to be considered, and these are: Step 1. Express the given rational numbers into similar fraction using the LCM of the denominators. Step 2. Add or subtract the numerators and copy the new denominator. Step 3. Simplify or reduce the answer on its lowest term if possible. Now, let's consider these examples. Example C. Add 3/6 and 7/12. To solve this, let's perform the given steps. So step 1. Let's find the LCM or the least common multiples of our denominators 6 and 12. So here we have the multiples of 6, which is 6, 12, 18, and 24. And the multiples of 12 are 12, 24, 36, and 48. As we observe, 12 is our least common multiple of 6 and 12. Therefore, we must use this as our new denominator. And in order to make it as similar fractions, we must divide the new denominators, which is 12, by the previous denominators and be multiplied by its numerators. So we have here 12 divided by 6 is equal to 2, multiplied by 3 is equal to 6, and 12 divided by 12 is equal to 1, multiplied by 7 is equal to 7. After doing so, let's perform the second step, which is to add the numerators and copy the new denominator. So here we have 7 plus 6/12, which is equal to 13/12. Now, we are ready to perform step 3, which is to simplify or reduce 13/12 on its lowest term. As we simplify, we get 1 and 1/12 as its lowest term. Therefore, 3/6 added by 7/12 is equal to 1 and 1/12. Now, let's have example D. Subtract 7/8 by 11/16. So let's now perform the first step. Let's find the LCM of our denominators 8 and 16. Here we have the multiples of 8, which is 8, 16, 24, 32, and 40. And the multiples of 16 are 16, 32, 64, and 128. As we observed, 16 is our least common multiple. Therefore, 16 is our new denominator, and the same to our previous examples, we must divide it by our previous denominators, then multiply it into the numerators to express it as similar fractions. So here we have 16 divided by 8 is equal to 2, multiplied by 7 is equal to 14, and this becomes our new numerator of our first term. Then 16 divided by 16 is equal to 1, multiplied by 11 is equal to 11, and this becomes the new numerator of our second term. Now, we are ready to perform step 2, which is to subtract the numerators and copy the new denominator. So we have 14/16 subtracted by 11/16 is equal to 3/16. So what can you observe from the answer we obtained? Yes, it is already on its lowest term. Thus, step 3 is no need for us to be performed. Now, you are ready to learn how to solve addition and subtraction operations on a given word problems. But when we encounter word problems, how can we identify addition or subtraction on it? In order to identify and solve word problems involving addition and subtraction of rational numbers, there are keywords or phrases to remember, such as total, sum, altogether, combine, more than, how many in all, how much, increase, how long, and plus for addition operation. While the words less than, decrease, remain, how much more, how many more, take away, left, difference, dropped, reduced, how much longer are some of the keywords or phrases for subtraction operation. That's why you students need to familiarize or better memorize those keywords for you to identify what operation of rational numbers you should apply when you encounter word problems. For you to understand more, let's have this example. A missile launch was halted 2 times. The first delay lasted for 2/4 of an hour, while the second one lasted for 3/4 of an hour. How long was the missile launch delayed? So from the given word problem, do you observe some keywords? Then what operation we should apply for this? Yes, in the given problem, we can observe the keyword how long, and this calls for addition operation. Since the problem asked how long the missile launch delayed, we should add the time it provided on the given situation. So the first delayed was 2/4 of an hour, while the second delayed was 3/4 of an hour. But what case we should apply? Yes, it is case 1, addition of rational numbers with similar denominators. Now, we are ready to perform the 2 easy steps. So here is its solution. Through following the steps of case 1, we can have the sum of 1 1/4. Therefore, the missile launch delayed for 1 1/4 of an hour. Another example. Kenneth has 3/4 yard of material. He uses 2/8 to cover a chair. How much yard is he left with? From the given word problem, what operation of rational number it calls, and what keyword did you observe? Yes, it calls for subtraction operation because of the word left. And as we also observed, the given fraction have different denominators. Therefore, as we solve this problem, we must use the second case, which is the subtraction of rational numbers with different denominators. For you to understand, here is its solution. From the problem, 3/4 yard of the material Kenneth have, but he uses 2/8 of it to cover the chair. So, how much yard he left with? Through following the steps in case 2, we can obtain 1/2 as its answer. Therefore, 1/2 yard of material was left on Kenneth. Now that you've learned how to solve addition and subtraction operations on rational numbers and identify these operations on a given word problem, always remember that there are 2 cases on adding and subtracting rational numbers, and there are numerous keywords to be observed when we encounter and solve word problems involving rational numbers. At this moment, it is time for you to remind that these 2 operations are very useful in our lives. There are situations that we can encounter the same problems we solved previously. So for your assignment, write 2 situations that you encounter in your life that involves addition and subtraction of rational numbers. Provide its solution, identify what case you apply, and write down its steps. That's all for this video lecture. Thank you and God bless.